All right, we have week 2 to Call to Arms. They've done some changes to listen to some feedback. Maybe you might have noticed your score gone to top 1% or top 10%, and some of these over here is because they've kind of shifted the scores back because there were some bugs, and we'll talk about that. We'll show you guys a run to get top 1%, but it shouldn't be that hard or that crazy of a speed run. We'll tone it down a little bit, but 3.3 still needs high value targets. But of course, you probably have maybe a better time, possibly, flying a fire team and getting top 1% for these. But if you want just the helmet, you top 10% in 2 of these categories, which only takes about a run with some extra modifiers. That's not matchmaking. Matchmaking will not give you the score for these, at least. So there's that. Let's go ahead and show you guys the changes here they did for this week 2 update or week 2 reset. So basically, they have locked the scores. So the scores will no longer go up. So people have been grinding the salt mines, and the score keeps going up and up and up because the average is going up and up and up, right? But now they've reduced it. So it was yesterday, it was at 3.4 million. Now it is at 3.3. So it is very much achievable, but you still need a high value target to get those 1%. But you don't need the high value target if you want top 10%. So if you're looking for top 10%, you do not need the high value target. As long as you have the modifiers on, you can just get 2.9 million and you're good to go for top 10%. And the rest is here: Crucible 13k, 12k top 10%, 2.9, 2.9, 2.9 for the rest. Coil, Heliostat, and Proving Grounds. And then top 10% made it a little bit easier. Like, you only need top 10% in 2 of them for the helmet. If you want top 1% for just the emblem, there's that. People always wondering why do we get more points than 310. Well, I think the fire gets bigger on the helmet. That's the only reason why. Like, why would they lock why are the scores all locked? You're already done, right? You already have everything above top 1%. Why the rewards aren't given out until the next reset? Well, I just think because you could probably you were probably able to claim it, and then maybe there's some bug where I don't know, they're looking at your points in total. I don't know. I just maybe it's not true. I don't know. But that's just a guess. Anyways, so you can read all this stuff. I'll post it in the comments and all that stuff. But they cannot change the high value target stuff in this update. But they will add more revives for Coil, and I don't know what any of this means, but whatever. Anyway, so that's the update for that. Now let's talk about getting a nice 1% score here for the salt mines. Now you don't have to go this crazy. I mean, modifiers do matter. I think if you want to get top 10%, this is still useful. So we're gonna do caltrops. We'll do stasis because stasis doesn't do anything. We're gonna do grounded. It's fine. Slow and small, glass cannon, and famine. You don't really need that much ammo in the beginning, anyways. And then we're gonna do pressure cooker. We're going to do touche unless you want to use another weapon, but touche is just easy to use. Starting ammo, brawn, very important, and then extinction. And then for boons, I like to use fury because we need the heavy ammo. And then we're going to use, I use brawler because of the build I'm using. And then we're going to use full throttle for extra damage. Now, the build is partly important because we're on Titan, and as you could guess, there's that. I would say it's a bug, but maybe it's not intended. Obviously, it was a known thing for the Hive Wizard in K1 logistics portal thing, where if the shielded boss, if you use a sunspot against the boss, it will break it. So instead of breaking the blight to get the buff to break the shield, you can skip all that and just break the shield. And that's why these speedruns work with the Solar Titan, because of spawning a sunspot and breaking the shield. Now, it's not impossible to do a Hunter and Warlock. I think you need to be, at least in terms of speed, to get 3.3 million, at least beating it in under around 4 minutes, or maybe 4.5 possibly with modifiers. I don't know exactly the exact score, but of course you do need to get the high value target as well. So let me show you guys a run here. It's a bit janky, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, so here's the run that we did on our Titan. Of course, do remind that you do have to get a decent. I mean, nah, you don't need it, but there's a precision. I got precision kills, which is okay. For this run. What I normally do, because we're using this stupid Titan, it's broken as hell. I just ignore the champion. You don't have to, but it saves a bit of time. Oh, what's lagging? I don't know why it lagged there. That was weird. Anyways, but I think at this point of me running this was I didn't really avoided the champion. You can avoid the champion because to save some time, you can ignore the champion and then just straight up what do you call it? When you clear the whole area, it's the whole point. You clear the whole area as fast as possible to progress to the next area. It takes like 5 seconds for the blight to disappear. So the champion is not needed to clear the area. You do have to kill them because it gives you points. You lose points if you don't kill them. So as soon as you see the 1667, then you can just go back and kill the champion while waiting here. It takes like, you can even enough time to kill the champion while waiting for that to pop out. All right, now you don't want to use the Eager Edge if you don't want to. I'm not good at it, but it did help save a couple seconds, that's for sure. But the whole point of doing assault mines as fast as possible, it's straight up just going fast. So clearing all the areas, knowing where things spawn, having no radar does suck, that's for sure. But just knowing where things spawn, some things do come towards you, but you really gotta have like your sound on and kind of like look around quite a bit. But I don't know. But also, like I said, you do need to have high value target to spawn. There's nowhere to tell at the beginning of the entire map when it spawn or if it does spawn. So just if you look down here, you might be able to see a glowing guy over there. You're on a timer though. You gotta do it fast. You do gotta burst a stun lock it basically. Now usually how high value targets do work in these runs here, they do spawn and they're supposed to run away, but the actual like tracking of like or their movement of where they need to go, it's really bad in this area because it's like, I don't know, they did a bad job doing it, but like you're supposed to like walk away and path towards this next room and it should spawn in this room, but I feel like it spends all its time stuck getting hit when you're killing it, that the time it would normally walk towards this area is expired. If you do the other maps and other high value targets, you'll see that they'll keep running away and goes to the next area and then despawn maybe after like 5 seconds kind of thing. But I think since it doesn't move the entire time, it's the full timer of when it moved. Okay, so normally for this area over here, just use up all of your ammo. That's range or super, and you just gotta do like 3 times in a row. Like these Taken Thrall, they spawn, or Scions spawn in a loop of those 3 portals each time. So just as long as you know, just keeping track of which ones are spawning in and out, you're good to go. And on the boss, like I said, if you have Sunspot Titan, then you can speedrun this part. So use your hammers normally, and then you have to hit a enemy which spawns in front of you. Then you just go ahead and just throw your hammers, and the Sunspot will break the shield. And there's your Titan run. Now you can be a little bit slower in terms of on a different class, of course, but you gotta break the blight, and then there's all that, yada yada yada. Here you can see the score we got here, which is like overkill. It's overkill. It's 3.428. You don't need that. You need 100k less than that. So it could be a bit slower. Like that's a 357 clear. You can be a lot slower. Because my points is at the points I have at right now, it's a 3.43, which is higher than the other one. But I beat that in like 3 minutes and 4 seconds, so 10 seconds higher. 10 seconds higher just gives me like 10k more points. So you could imagine that getting 3.3 million isn't that bad, as long as you go, at least don't take too long. The Titan just way too fast. It's overkill. So this is an overkill thing, but if you want to guarantee a run, then with Titan, then go ahead. But you can still go pretty fast with other classes, that's for sure. Anyways, that's pretty much the video. Things are locked, so now you can just don't have to worry about scores getting higher. You have the actual point values. You can check in the comment and description. to see what you need for top 1%. Most of the time, I don't know what the modifiers are, but getting 3 million points shouldn't be that bad. I just gotta get 5 people to play with, sadly. So there's that. All right. So hopefully another video. Go short, quick, and well, 10 minutes is okay. But anyways, that's it.